Is the key to the Bulls' success hiding in plain sight? Today, we're breaking down the 5 players who could make or break Chicago's season. But our pick for the most crucial player might shock you. From trade rumors to breakout candidates, we're diving deep into the Bulls roster to find out who needs to step up. Stay tuned, because this could be the most important season in recent Bulls history. Hey Bulls Nation! Welcome back to another episode of Chicago Bulls News. Today, we've got a juicy topic to dive into today. As we gear up for the 2024-2025 NBA season, there's one burning question on everyone's mind: which player will be the most important for the Chicago Bulls this year? Now, before we jump into our analysis, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest Bulls news and hot takes. Let's get into it. The Chicago Bulls are at a crossroads. After a disappointing 2023-2024 season where we missed the playoffs for the second straight year, it's clear that changes need to be made. The front office has been busy this offseason, making some interesting moves, but the core of our team remains largely intact. So, who's going to step up and be the difference maker this season? Let's break down our top contenders. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, Patrick Williams, Coby White. Now, I know what you're thinking: where's Lonzo Ball on this list? Unfortunately, as we reported last week, Lonzo's knee issues are still a major concern. While we're all hoping for a miraculous comeback, we have to be realistic about his potential impact this season. Let's start with our first contender, Zach LaVine. Zach has been the face of the franchise for years now, and there's no denying his offensive firepower. Last season, he averaged 24.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. His three-point shooting remained deadly, hitting 37.5% from beyond the arc. But here's the thing: we've seen this before. Zach's been putting up these numbers for years, and it hasn't translated to team success. Don't get me wrong, he's an incredible talent, but for Zach to be our most important player this season, we need to see growth in other areas. First and foremost, his defense. Zach's always been criticized for his lack of effort on the defensive end. If he can become even an average defender, it could make a huge difference for our team's overall performance. Secondly, his leadership. With trade rumors swirling around him all off-season, Zach needs to prove he's committed to this team and can rally the troops when things get tough. We've seen flashes of this, but consistency is key. Next up, we've got DeMar DeRozan. DeMar has been nothing short of spectacular since joining the Bulls. Last season, he put up 22.7 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game. His mid-range game remains elite, and he's shown he can take over in clutch moments. But here's why DeMar might be our most important player this season: adaptability. As he enters his 15th NBA season at age 34, DeRozan needs to evolve his game to keep defenses guessing. We've seen him expand his three-point shooting over the past couple of years, but imagine if he could become a true threat from deep. Moreover, DeMar's veteran leadership will be crucial in mentoring our younger players. With the addition of rookies and the continued development of guys like Patrick Williams and Coby White, DeRozan's guidance could be the key to unlocking their potential. Speaking of potential, let's talk about Patrick Williams. Pat Will has been the ultimate tease since we drafted him 4th overall in 2020. We've seen flashes of brilliance: his defensive versatility, his smooth jumper, his athleticism. But we've yet to see it all come together consistently. Last season, Williams averaged 10.2 points and 4.0 rebounds per game. Solid numbers, but not what you'd expect from a former top 5 pick entering his 4th season. Here's why Patrick could be our most important player: he's the X factor. It's a big if Williams can make the leap to becoming a consistent two-way force, it changes everything for the Bulls. Imagine a 6'7" forward who can guard multiple positions, knock down threes, and create his own shot. That's the player we thought we were getting, and that's the player who could elevate us from mediocrity to contention. The question is, will this be the year Pat will put it all together? Now, let's not forget about our big man in the middle, Nikola Vucevic. Vooch has been a model of consistency since joining the Bulls. Last season, he averaged 17.6 points, 11.0 rebounds, and 3.2 assists per game. His ability to stretch the floor and facilitate from the center position is invaluable. But here's why Nikola could be our most important player this season: defense. The Bulls have struggled defensively, especially in the paint, and a lot of that falls on Vucevic. If he can improve as a rim protector and become more mobile in pick-and-roll situations, it could transform our entire defensive scheme. Additionally, Vooch's ability to dominate on the boards and create second-chance opportunities could be the difference in close games. In an Eastern Conference that's only getting tougher, those extra possessions could be the difference between making the playoffs and watching from home. Last, but certainly not least, we've got Coby White. Coby had a breakout season last year, averaging 13.6 points and 4.0 assists per game while shooting a career-high 37.2% from three. He showed flashes of being the dynamic combo guard we always hoped he'd become. So why could Coby be our most important player? 2 words: point guard. With Lonzo Ball's status uncertain, the Bulls desperately need someone to step up and run the offense. If White can continue to improve his playmaking and decision-making, he could be the engine that drives this team. Moreover, Coby's energy and pace could be exactly what this team needs. Too often last season, the Bulls' offense became stagnant, relying on isolation plays from LaVine and DeRozan. If White can push the tempo and create easy transition opportunities, it could revitalize our entire offensive approach. Now that we've broken down our top contenders, let's address the elephant in the room: the possibility of a trade. There have been rumors all off-season about the Bulls potentially blowing it up and starting a rebuild. Names like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan have been floated in trade discussions. If a major trade does happen, it could completely change the landscape of our team. Suddenly, we might be looking at a youth movement led by Patrick Williams and Coby White. Or we could bring in a new star who instantly becomes our most important player. But let's work with what we know right now. If I had to pick one player who will be the most important for the Chicago Bulls this season, I'm going with Patrick Williams. I know. It might seem like a surprise pick, but hear me out. Patrick Williams represents everything this Bulls team needs to take the next step. We know what we're getting from guys like LaVine, DeRozan, and Vucevic. They're established stars who will produce at a high level. But Patrick? He's the wild card. The player with the highest ceiling and the most room for growth. If he can put it all together: the defense, the shooting, the playmaking, it gives the Bulls an entirely new dimension. Imagine a lineup where Williams is locking down the opponent's best player, knocking down threes, and creating mismatches on offense. It allows LaVine and DeRozan to focus on what they do best: scoring. It takes pressure off Vucevic in the paint. It creates space for Coby White to operate in the pick and roll. In short, a breakout season from Patrick Williams doesn't just improve his individual stats, it elevates the entire team. Now, I want to hear from you, Bulls Nation. Who do you think will be the most important player for the Chicago Bulls this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a discussion going. That's all for today's episode of Chicago Bulls News Today. Remember, this season is crucial for the future of our franchise. Whether it's Patrick Williams making the leap, Zach LaVine silencing the doubters, or a surprise breakout from someone else, we need someone to step up and lead this team back to playoff contention. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow Bulls fans. And don't forget to subscribe for more Chicago Bulls news, analysis, and hot takes. Until next time, Bulls Nation, see red.